Welcome back to Fable's Adventures. We're trying something new with this episode, and we would love to know what you think. Hit like, subscribe, and comment to let us know. This is the channel where you can find daily audio stories for older teens and young adults, taken from the community feed of Fable's Adventures, the iOS app. Today's story is entitled The Language of Lies, and it's from one of our newer community members, Susie Smidge. If you would like to have one of your stories featured here on our channel, download the app at the Apple App Store. The link is in the description, and start creating today. For now, enjoy The Language of Lies.
The polyglot problem. The mirror behind the bar at Rossetti's reflects a speakeasy that doesn't exist. You know this because you've memorized every shadow in this place. Every water stain on the ceiling that looks like a continent, every chair leg that doesn't quite touch the floor, every face that appears twice when it should appear once. But in that mirror, there's a door, a service entrance maybe, or a hallway, something in sepia tones, wavering like old film stock, showing you a room with no light source that somehow glows. Alex doesn't mention it to Jordan. Instead, Alex orders another drink they won't finish and watches the reflection of a man in the corner, a man who shouldn't be here. His name is Dmitry Volkov, and according to the classified ledger Alex photographed from the Immigrant's Clarion offices yesterday, he's supposed to be dead. The official story, the one the syndicate-controlled papers printed, claimed he drowned in the Hudson 2 weeks ago. Tragic accident. Another foreign voice silenced. But here he is, nursing a bourbon with trembling hands, speaking rapid-fire Russian to a woman whose eyes are the color of gunmetal. "He's still here," Jordan whispers in Mandarin, their signal for danger, the language only they share in this city of 1,000 tongues. Jordan sits 3 tables away, playing cards with dock workers, but their attention is a taut wire. "I see him," Alex replies in the same language, lips barely moving. The gift of linguistic mastery has always felt less like a superpower and more like a curse. Alex can taste the shape of every word in every language, can feel the architecture of grammar in their teeth, can become the dialect of whoever needs becoming. Right now they're tasting Russian, that guttural, throat-deep language, and it coats their mouth like blood. The thing about 1925 New York is that information flows like bootleg gin, and polyglots are the bartenders, people like Alex, people like Dmitry, people like the 6 other translators whose bodies have been recovered from the East River in the past month, their tongues black and swollen, their notebooks missing. You're starting to understand the problem. Alex's drink sits untouched. The bourbon catches the light wrong, that impossible light from the mirror that shouldn't exist. And for just a second, the glass looks like it contains something darker than alcohol, something closer to ink, closer to blood. The woman with the gunmetal eyes stands. She doesn't look at Dmitry as she leaves, but he follows 3 minutes later, and Alex is already moving, already reaching into the inner pocket of their jacket where the ledger lives, warm against their ribs like a second heartbeat. "Coming?" Alex asks Jordan in Mandarin, and Jordan's cards scatter like startled birds. The street outside tastes like rain on hot asphalt and the ghost of something burning. They move east, toward the warehouses where the Hudson's breath fogs the night, and Alex is calculating in 17 languages at once, the mathematics of deception, the probability of death, the odds that Dmitry Volkov is either a ghost or a trap or something worse, a walking contradiction. They catch him in an alley that smells like copper and rust, and things best left unnamed. "Dmitry Volkov," Alex says in Russian, and the man spins, his eyes wide and white-rimmed like a spooked horse. "The Clarion says you're dead." "Then you should not see me," he whispers back, but his Russian is wrong. Too clean, the accent sitting on his words like borrowed clothes. Not Russian at all, Alex realizes. An American pretending and doing a decent job of it. But Alex can taste the lie underneath, can feel it in the shape of his vowels. "Who are you?" Alex asks in English, and something in the man's face breaks. "My name is Thomas Garrett. I work for—" He stops. His hand moves toward his jacket, and Jordan is already there, already pulling a knife that catches light in a way that seems to hurt to look at. "I work for the syndicate. I've been monitoring the Clarion for 6 months, watching for people like you." The admission hangs in the alley like cigarette smoke. "People like me," Alex repeats, not a question. "Polyglots who ask the wrong questions, who talk to the wrong people, who threaten the flow of—" He swallows hard, his Adam's apple bobbing. "The flow of information control. The syndicates don't just run liquor, Rivera. They run narratives. They run which stories get told, and which get buried, and which get translated wrong on purpose so the meaning bleeds out in the margins. You're a threat because you're too good at languages, because you can read between the lines in a way most people can't." Behind them, the mirror in Rossetti's is somehow visible even from this distance, even from an angle that shouldn't allow sight lines. And in that mirror, Alex sees something that makes their breath catch in their throat. 2 figures standing in that sepia-toned hallway, watching. One of them is Alex. Or was. Or will be. "The ledger," Garrett continues, his voice dropping. "You took it from the office. That's a mistake. That's a mistake because—" The shot comes from nowhere and everywhere. Garrett's body folds like wet paper, and Jordan is already pulling Alex back into shadow and rain smell, and the taste of copper that's suddenly very, very fresh. "The ledger," Jordan hisses in Mandarin. "They know about the ledger." But Alex is staring at the impossible mirror, at the figure that wears their face, and understanding crashes through them like a wave. The mirror is showing them a future, or a past, or a choice not yet made. The sepia hallway is the Clarion office, and the second figure is wearing a syndicate pin. "We have to burn it," Alex says in Mandarin, then Italian, then Polish, speaking in rapid-fire succession, because the fear is making their gift unstable, making language splinter and scatter like broken glass. "The ledger. We have to burn everything." "No," Jordan says, and their voice is strange, distant, like it's coming through water. "We have to deliver it." Alex turns to look at their sidekick, and in the darkness of the alley, Jordan's face looks like it's reflected in that impossible mirror, slightly wrong, a second too delayed, an angle that shouldn't exist. "What?" Alex whispers. "I'm sorry," Jordan says in Mandarin, in the language they share, in the words that are supposed to be safe. "I've always been sorry. But the syndicate doesn't just run narratives, Alex. They run time. They run journalists who think they're breaking stories when really they're just reading the script we've already written for them." And suddenly, Alex understands with the kind of gut-punch clarity that leaves you hollow and gasping. They never infiltrated the Clarion. The Clarion infiltrated them. The Clarion has always been the syndicate's operation, a fishing lure dangling untold immigrant stories to attract polyglots like Alex. Dangerous polyglots. Polyglots who ask questions. Polyglots who need to disappear. The gun in Jordan's hand looks like it weighs nothing. "Dmitry Volkov was real," Jordan says gently, and it's the gentleness that's somehow worse than any cruelty could be. "He was the first. He talked to you 2 weeks ago, remember? In the basement of the Clarion? He told you about the syndicate structure, about their control of information networks, about how they suppress certain stories. You thought it was the scoop of a lifetime. Alex does remember. Remembers the old man's trembling hands. Remembers the way he kept looking over his shoulder. He's dead now, Jordan continues. Has been for 2 weeks. We made sure of that. But his body, it's still useful, still serving the syndicate. They parade it around as a warning, as proof that people who talk too much end up in the Hudson. It's very effective, keeps the polyglots compliant. The mirror, Alex whispers. You saw what we wanted you to see. We've had a temporal specialist working on the reflective surfaces in Rossetti's for months. Little flickers of possible futures, possible timelines. Enough to make you paranoid, enough to make you trust us more. Paranoia and trust, they're two sides of the same coin, Alex. Both of them make you vulnerable. In the distance, sirens wail like something dying. You have a choice, Jordan says, and now there's something almost kind in their expression. You can come with us. We can use someone like you, a polyglot of your caliber, working for the syndicate instead of against it. Think about it. Every story told the way we want it told. Every narrative controlled. Every immigrant community kept in the dark about their own history because you, the only person who could translate their truth into something dangerous. You're on our side. Alex tastes the copper again, tastes it deeper this time. Or, Alex asks, or you run, right now, into the night, with the ledger, and we let you go, just to see how far you get before we find you again. It's more fun that way, more authentic. We've always liked the chase with you, Alex. You're the best storyteller we've ever hunted. The gun doesn't waver. Jordan's hand is perfectly steady, and Alex understands, finally, what it means to be a polyglot in a world where words are weapons. Understands that the gift isn't just the ability to speak languages, it's the ability to be understood in ways that matter, to communicate truth in 100 different ways, to refuse to be silenced, even when silence would be safer, even when silence would keep you alive. I choose the third option, Alex says, in a language that doesn't exist yet, a language they're inventing as they speak it, syllables and phonetics that Jordan has never heard before and will never understand. It's a language made of defiance and sorrow and the kind of hope that's almost indistinguishable from madness. And then Alex runs. The ledger burns in an abandoned warehouse at the edge of the city, its pages releasing stories into smoke. The photographs scatter into the East River. The notes dissolve into nothing. But the stories don't disappear. They can't. Because Alex has already memorized them, has already let them settle into the deepest parts of their polyglot brain, where no bullet can reach them, where no syndicate can burn them away. The suppressed immigrant narratives, the hidden origins of organized crime, the names of the people who were silenced, all of it lives now in the architecture of Alex's memory, waiting to be translated into 100 different languages, told in 1,000 different ways, spread across time and space like seeds. The mirror in Rossetti's reflects something different now. Not a sepia hallway, not a warning, just the bar itself, the right way around, the way it should be. Jordan never comes looking. But Alex keeps looking over their shoulder anyway, tasting copper and rain, speaking languages that don't exist yet, waiting for the day when the stories are finally ready to be told. The syndicate runs narratives, sure, but they don't run time. Not really. Not the way they think. Alex has learned that the hard way.
Thanks for listening to our story today. Our stories at Fables Adventures are created using the Fables Adventures app for iOS, available for both the iPhone and the iPad. And if you have enjoyed the story that you have just heard and want to create stories like this of your own, head over to the Apple App Store and download the app for yourself. There is a link in the description. You can also read the full text of the story that you have just heard at the link in the description of this story as well. Hit like, subscribe to our channel, and please leave us a comment about what you enjoyed about today's story. It really helps. We're trying to do something here at Fables Adventures to support people living with ALS or motor neuron disease, simply by creating content like this for you all to enjoy. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you tomorrow.